usual. Good. So we've got a 272 today on the bench. After, I would say, minimal, we're going to call this minimal time. I'm going to clean all this stuff off while we're waiting for... And it's Friday, so who's going to show up? But, minimal time out in the field. Beautiful shape. Just built it. Blew up. Nearly instant. Well, not nearly instant, but after a bit of cutting, it cooked. Why? Why? The answer is something I mention to everybody that buys a saw from me. So you've got a freshly built saw, you got to do your bolt checks. And since most people don't do that, you can run into trouble. You know what I'm saying? Hear me? So, you guys know how I do things. I blue Loctite like everything and red Loctite things and make sure there's all kinds of... Let's bring you up here, that way we can see comments and whatnot. Hey, Craig. Hey, Steve. Things could be better here, you know. We got saw that blew pretty quick. Have to do bolt checks. Have to do bolt checks. So I already had this at least a little bit apart. Basically, we've got no compression here, and brand new seals, brand new bearings, brand new everything. But it's got a problem. No compression. Wife is pulling in for lunch. Wonderful. Sounds great. So anyway, poor Sammy came by and he was like, "Why is it shut off on me?" I don't know. Let's look. You know? So you look at this and that and do a compression check and realize it's only like 90 pounds. So when I did, one of the first things that I did was I actually threw some brake cleaner down the throat just to see if it would pop, and it didn't pop. So I checked the compression and it was low. It's about 90 pounds. So, but then I noticed after I hit it with the brake cleaner that it was wet around the intake here. So something wasn't tight. Something had backed off or come loose. Something's back off or come loose. I mean, everything else looks as it should be in here. But what I did was I went and did this and it turned. And I got it down so now it's tight, but these indeed were loose. Loose. Not so good. And they're tight now because I tightened them, but yeah. Anyway, so let's see if we can. Well, other bolts that are loose. So yeah, gotta do your bolt checks. Gotta do bolt checks, guys. Especially if you're running a freshly built saw. You know, like on its first tank or two. Geez, you know. Run a tank through it. The head bolts I already checked. They're tight. Hey, Ken. Battery's dead. Battery. So this saw is in, I would say, downright excellent shape. Again, fairly fresh rebuild. He definitely did put some time on it, because these are caked. It's not zero tanks, that's for sure. Guess I'll drain the gas. Full fuel here. Fuel's got color to it. That's good. So the odds of this being straight gassed is very low. I think the intake bolts are loose. Because as far as I can see, from the evidence so far, that's what I see. 60, 50 mile an hour winds. Yeah, I know. We got winds coming in. Okay. So now I'm just going to kind of pull the whole top end off here, I think. Exhaust bolts. Choke here. Pop that off. Throttle linkage. There's not tons that hold this on. Cherry trees have lots of buds. So looking good, Ken. Very, very excited. I'm gonna have to deal with the rot though this year. I gotta figure out what to do about that. The brown rot. Just did an oil change on the Stinger. Just light scoring. Yeah, so we'll just throw a new piston in here. It'll be fine. Yep. Yeah, the bottom end's pretty wet. Clean in the bottom end. So I optimized the squish here. So I know that I took the, I wrote it there. Well, that's a relatively easy fix. Clean up the head, clean up the piston, and, or, you know, if you were really ambitious, I'll bet you could clean that piston up and use it. Really not recommended, but if you had to, based on how light the scoring is, you might get away with it, at least for a little while. So, but I'm not going to do that. We're going to put a fresh new piston in here. I'll get a Meteor. I don't have one right now. I'll definitely get one. Is this a flip saw? This came from Sammy. I just built it for him. And he cooked the top end. It's definitely got some use out of it. OEM KS piston. If I remember right, I bought this as a part saw. So I did, in a sense, I did flip it. But it's not like... The root cause is loose intake bolts. The intake bolts came loose. And he didn't do bolt checks. And I told him, got to do bolt checks. Hey, Bob. I told him he got to do bolt checks. And this was one of those cases where I offered to have Mason take it out and run it for a bit and make sure it was solid. And he said no, he just wanted to take it. Which is fine. But now... Now we got this issue. So, kind of crappy. So let's see if I can clean up the head. And... yeah. I'll get... So I wanted to show you guys something else that I found, which is really, really cool. Obviously there's no issue between there and the cylinder, but this is where it wasn't tight. It had come loose. So right at the intake gasket there, if the intake bolts come loose, yeah, you get a leak. How's it going, Bob? I mean that you need to do maintenance on your saws, yes, Bob. Well, it's pretty stuck there, so maybe I'll just leave it. Unless you plan on me doing all the maintenance on your saws. And I assure you guys, right now, I don't got the time for this. Oh my God. Bob, you know, and you send me something, it gets fixed, of course, but I just... There's a reason I have not been on. A, I don't have anything to do here, but B, I've got other stuff that I'm working on. I've not heard about a get-together, but then again, I have not been paying lots of attention to it. Sorry. Let's see if I can get this cleaned up. It's really not too bad. Yeah, nothing about a GTG this year, unfortunately. What's left is ready to check. Yeah, the shed is good. I think we're gonna start a little more work on it pretty soon. We've had a long winter. I've got a lot of stuff going. I just signed for windows for the house. Windows, doors, insulation, basically the whole thing. Another issue right now, in case people don't know, is the plywood. So I thought I got killed a few weeks ago when I bought plywood. When I bought plywood at $33 a sheet, and just thought I got killed. I think it's like $58 a sheet now, something silly like that, and it may not stop going up, at least not for a bit. Just checking because I've got a package coming. Anyway, yeah, the lumber has tripled in price. So I actually have some 2x4s and some beams that I threw up on Facebook Marketplace just to see what would happen. 100,000. Yeah, I know. Yep. If you're a builder today, I can't imagine. And you gotta, obviously pass along the cost. But I think what's doing it is the fact that interest rates are so low. So right now everybody's got nothing else to do except just go and, build stuff. Oh, shoot. My Dremel's out in the shed for some reason. Shucks. Yeah, so nobody else has anything better to do except, like, build stuff and become farmers. Yeah, everybody wants to be a farmer today. Everybody wants to work on their house because they're not out and about doing stuff, so you might as well work on the house, you know? You'll have 100 calls. I got some calls, but I got calls for unreasonably low money, at least considering where prices are at. People are just trying to spitball and lowball. Like, no. No, because I don't need to sell it. I happen to have a stack of what could be used for like 2x4s for a shed out in the back, and somebody wants to give me $600 for the stack, they can show up and give me $600 for the stack, you know? Yeah, the lumber stuff might be short-lived, but you know, Bob, I mean, certainly you can take advantage of that right now, you know? You know, the old what goes up must come down type of stuff. But yeah, I thought it was incredible. 33 a sheet for plywood. I just nearly lost it on the guy. And actually, the guy did me a solid because he had quoted me on a Friday at 33 a sheet. I thought that was crazy. Went to find other quotes, and then found the other quotes and came back to him on a Monday. So Friday to Monday. Came back on Monday. He said it's 42 a sheet now. I said, you got to be kidding. Well, sold out of materials. Good. And bad. So, anyway, what I want to show you guys, I have a zillion things going, but what I want to show you guys was 288 intake bolts have these stupid curved washers. And on eBay, these go for $5 for like 2 of them. For washers. So let's see. I found them in stainless. These are probably like $8 for these shipped. Oh yeah. Perfect. So these are actually M5 washers. And I think they're 10 millimeter. The OD is 10 millimeters, I think. Which is basically the same. So OEM. Millimeters. 0. Yeah, OEM OD is about 10 millimeters. The OD here is, depends on where you measure it, I suppose, because it's curved. Yeah, just under 10. So basically 10 millimeters. Yet another substitution. Again, not junk, stainless, nice washers. Just scrapped a push mower and 2 snowblowers after stripping off the pressure cyber. Yeah. My lumberyard posts a list in their front door daily with a list of what they don't have. Wow. I'm going to put this back. So these are all like 288 intake bolts. Now that I've got proper washers, because if you run out of stupid washers, you're just like, oh god, now I got to go to e-replacement parts and order them, and then they're special order or something stupid, and it's just like, come on. For, you know, I understand if certain elbows and things are special order, I do not understand special order curved washers. That I have zero capacity for patience on. Let's see. What else we got? The bird that's impatient. Every once in a while you can find a deal on certain things. Oh yeah. New OEM 372 head. Guess what I'm going to do with that? That's coming. Not yet. It's coming. I'm going to put that away. I'm waiting on powder, and we'll leave it there. Okay. Put this to be burnt. Recycled. And next is another box. You guys like these when I ordered these. So this is from CCP, which is out in Washington. And I've got more stuff coming from them too. I'm always checking to see what they've got on eBay. So 372 top. I was short one, so to go along with that new top cover, I think, or the new top end, I think I'll get a brand new top cover. This is very usable, so I can put this on my saw because I don't care. But if something's going to, shall we say, a good customer, then, you want it to be nice. Hey, Dan. Yeah, we're going to be installing the windows, I think. So, how about a brand new OEM 372 tank? Brand new. Oh, this is actually 385 randomness. 390 XP, 385 Husky randomness. And some of this will fit 372. Ah, shucks, but I'll show you. Hang on, I'll get to it. What else do I get? That's 395 randomness. Oh. Heh. They put a spring in there that actually... Oh, okay, those are the 372 springs also. And then... a nice, fresh top handle. That actually looks like an extra top handle. Take care, Craig. Thanks for coming in. Nice 372 top handle. We're going to be making a nice 372 here. But unfortunately, it's going to be insanely expensive because I'm piecing it together. Oh, Lord. Ah! Actually, this goes out to the shed. Put that right back on the saw. be honest, better off doing it. Yeah, I got a buddy that's gonna help out. We gotta tear everything off. So, springs for 372. Perfect. Those go on the tank there. This is 394 and 395. I'm always looking for limiter bolts. Yes. Limiter bolts. Hate buying those separately, you know. There's only one in here, but whatever. I mean, gas caps alone, if they're in nice shape, these are worth good money. You know, you can pick this whole lot up for only a couple of bucks. $395 throttle, which I don't use because I don't do the 395s, but whatever, doesn't matter. That's cool. And it just goes out to the shed. String Fingers Band. Who's this genius? I don't know. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Mr. Daniel Tressler at String Fingers Band. Another good customer, shall we say. So, this part actually, I think, fits 372 also, but this is broken. Which happens to these damn things. This is what happens. This actually is exactly what happens when it's not fully seated when you tighten it. It's when you think that you can tighten it to seat everything, and it goes crunch. That's junk. Which is terrible. But what is cool about this particular part slot is there's a coil in here. If it's a good coil, I mean, looks OEM to me. If this is still a good coil, off and running. The other thing is, like, if you go to buy a 390 intake boot, nice thing about these, they don't have the lip on them, so you can torque them if you're doing a different carburetor or whatever. If you go to buy these, that's $30 just by itself. Just so everybody knows, String Fingers Band, Danny Tressler, and I have been friends since the 4th grade. So we are friends from way back. And he still lives in the hometown. I got out of there a little while ago, you know. Anywho. So most of this, yeah, so I'll just package this all up. Hey, you know what I should do? Is just make a pile here that's specifically 385, 390. That way, yeah, okay. Might as well make a little bag here. Label it. Looks good, right? Danny, did you see my my spray pen? Did I show you that? I gotta show you that. You can see I can write with a Sharpie, you know. But what if you took the same Sharpie and stuck it into a pen? That's this. Last one. Yeah, lots of dead ash in Easton. Watch this. Turns it into an airbrush. Regular Sharpie turned into an airbrush. Let's see. How's that? New toy. So what's cool is I can take this and use any color and color code things. So let's say I wanted to do it in blue. Here's black. I want to label something in blue. Like in particular, let's say I wanted to label a piece of metal. There you go. Isn't that cool? Flower petals next. Yeah. Can't have multiple. Never mind. It's a long story. Okay. But yeah, you can color code things however you want. And this is just a test piece, obviously. But and I don't even know how long it lasts. I haven't really gotten to the end of a particular Sharpie yet, so I don't know how long overall it will last. This actually goes... Because I bet I can use that for 288 also. I don't know for sure, but I think so. So this is definitely 385, and I'm not going to use it for anything else. That's 385, I'm not going to use it for anything else. That needs to go on the ultrasonic. The rest of these bolts can go anywhere. Yeah, just check that. I think this and the 372 are the same. But I have tons of those, so I don't really care. I think this and the 372 is the same too, but again, I got lots of those, so it doesn't really matter. Start what saw up? I've got the 272 down here. I got to put a new piston in, and then what? The 660 over there is powdered, and I'm still waiting on Rattler. Rattler's going to come through for me next week, so we're anticipating good things for next week. In case anybody hasn't seen it, Danny, this is your 288 here, but this is the crankcase for the 288, and this is powder coated. So we just got this powder coated, and it's a much more durable coating than even the OEM paint. So this piece is for sale. I don't necessarily need it. If anybody wants it, they can contact me. It is $350 shipped, just for that. But the thing with the 288 stuff is you cannot find the cases. If you can find cases, they're usually beat to heck, and they're still not even that cheap. They're not available new. You cannot get them new, and you cannot get them aftermarket. So you're stuck with original cases. These are original cases. These have been cleaned up, powdered, new bearings, gaskets. I've got the gasket set that goes with this that I include. If I get super ambitious, I'll start building it up. But once I do that, the price starts to go up too. So if anybody needs a 288 crankcase, i.e. Band Mill Bob, then, So if anybody gets the chance, I'm gonna gently hint this right now because we have something absolutely enormous coming, absolutely huge and game changing coming. I'm gonna hint this and tease this now for everybody. I know, 3288s for Bob. Danny loves his 288 too. But has something really big coming, and if you want, just go look for the 288. It's the 181-281-288 Life Facebook users group. So in the Facebook group, for 288s. I think Rory Bond is the one that heads up that group. So if you guys want to see a little bit of a hint of what's coming, yeah, go there. And we're gonna kind of change the 288s around a little bit. I'm not gonna say anything more. We're just gonna leave it there. In 2 weeks, I will have a much more definitive on that. And this is gonna be a whole lot of fun. Whole lot of fun. So, what else? I'm gonna just kind of organize all this stuff and put it away and all that jazz. Anybody need anything else? Questions, comments? I have 5 more 288 crankcases that are coming. 5. So we're going to have plenty of stock on those. That's not the big deal. Another big deal coming. Super duper exciting. So, yeah, questions, comments, anything else going, guys? Otherwise, I will call it for the day, I think. Just been busy. Sorry. Finally got a few days off here. I may... I don't need any more saws. I definitely don't need any more saws. For whatever reason, they just keep showing up at my doorstep. Like the 272 did. Everybody, do your bolt checks. Super important. Create a system. You know, after the first tank, go and check the top, your head bolts and your intake bolts for sure. 372s, 272s, you know, 394s, 395s, they all need it. Really got to get in there and check stuff. Once something comes loose, you got a problem. It is my understanding the Steel Manual recommends daily head bolt checks. Link to the Facebook page. I don't have a link, Ken. It's the... Hang on. (181-281-288 XP Life). It's the group. Yeah, it'd be nice if I can get out and run something. I did the other day. I did kind of organize my firewood. So I'm actually all set for next year for firewood already. But I only burn, you know, half a cord a year, maybe a cord. So it's not hard to get me good, you know. So, all right. I'll say thank you very much for hanging out, guys. I do appreciate it. If I find something else to show you, you know, you guys will know as soon as possible. I really think that later, if Shetley gets to the head maybe early next week, then should have it for next weekend. So we might be building a 660 next weekend. Tried out marathon yesterday for the you like it? Is it any good? You got to buy lots of those angled heads, otherwise it just doesn't cut it. But for the straight heads, it works pretty good. Yep, getting it to hold the bits is fun. Yep, you gotta have it ground just right. So, anyway, big stuff coming. Huge stuff coming. Imagine all my eggs in one basket coming. It's going to be that good. You guys are going to like it. I'm going to run. I'll see you guys later. I appreciate everybody hanging out. I really do. And if something comes up, I'll let you guys know. Okay. Take care, guys. See you, everybody.